Hello, ladies, gentlemen, isopods, and any other fleshy beings that happen to come across this video. And welcome to the IsoPodcast. I am your host, or semi-host, Sean, and I'm being joined by...
I am here. I am Gage, and I'm the vocalist for the band Bird, which is we're Official Bird. That's our band channel below you right there.
Yep. My name is Ben. I'm the official fluter and premium roadie for Bird.
Also, I'm the drummer. That's a thing too. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other people.
What is your name, drummer?
Sean.
Hellpack.
Ooh, scene.
Or you can call me by my internet alias, Dretz. Please don't, though.
Crispy. Subscribe to his YouTube channel at Dretz.
Kind of sounds like Tourette's whenever you say that.
Tourette's.
Hey guys, my name is Tourette's, and
Anyways, if you're wondering about the location, of the other two band members, one is currently MIA, and the other one has severe internet issues. So yeah, sorry you won't be having William, the guitarist, or Joe, the bassist, in this video, but hopefully in the future we can get them with us.
they're all freaking dead.
Yes.
They drank too much salsa.
Drank. Damn.
Yester drank too much salsa.
Yester drank.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's kick this off with an amazing story.
Okay. So, this happened a couple days ago. All right, we were at school. We were in the lunchroom, right? And I decided I had to go to the bathroom. So I go to the friendly neighborhood bathroom right next to the cafeteria. Open the smallest stall, and what I see scarred me for life. Okay? It's disgusting. There was poop everywhere. Okay? And I'm not just talking like in the toilet bowl. I'm talking like on the seat and everything, and it was disgusting, man. So
we're sitting here eating lunch, and Sean shows up and he's like, "Hey guys, somebody had a pretty bad day in the bathroom."
Yeah, it was really bad because there were actual like butt imprints in the poop on the seat. So I was sitting there thinking like, oh my God, is there someone walking around the school like with poop in their pants or something? Like what? So yeah, I go and tell the others, and they follow me in there. We all get to see that beauty.
We basically have the entirety of the band crowding one small bathroom around one stall, examining the mistake that was this person's bathroom incident.
And there was some other dude in there with us, and I'm sorry to whoever that was.
Just
weird.
We all come into the bathroom at once, single file. We're just like, yeah, this isn't suspicious or anything.
Yep, definitely not. All right, so that's that story.
That's that story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe we should kick off my legacy, my wonderful internet chronology. Sure, we'll go with that word. That probably doesn't mean what I think it means.
Yeah.
With a wonderful story that basically everyone I know has heard about it. Actually, we'll do one you guys haven't heard because that will entertain you.
Oh boy.
So, at the events of one of my first ever concerts, I believe it was Wayne Static, the frontman of Static X's solo thing that he did. It was at a local venue that everyone within a vicinity of Washington knows about. Yeah, it was there, and I was one small boy. I think I was like 7 or 8. And all you people be like, "That's cruel. How could you take a child to such a violent event like that?" Well, it was actually kind of cool, and I kind of volunteered myself because you want to do whatever your brothers and parents are doing, and they're all going to concerts, and you're like, what the heck? I want to go to a concert. So yeah, it was around my birthday, and I got to go to a concert. It's a Wayne Static concert. And at that concert, I didn't really know what to do because I was a small boy, and everyone else was all jumping around and being retarded. And being the small boy that I was really good at jumping around and being retarded. So I'm doing all that, and oof, you get too close to the circumference of what is known as a mosh pit, and you're immediately in the danger zone. And suddenly, oof, this guy comes flying out and basically just checks me into oblivion. I'm like, holy cow, I just witnessed my life flash before my eyes. And the only major injury I sustained, well, not even major injury, the only injury at all that I sustained was a minor scrape to my knee. But when you're young and you take some small injuries and your little babby brain just blows them way out of proportion, you think you're going to die. That was basically me. But I really still wanted to enjoy the concert. So I was trying to self-medicate my lightly scraped knee during the midst of the concert, and I ended up, doing some really dumb looking stuff. Just because of a knee scrape. Like I think I pulled my leg up like by the foot. It's like kind of like that one stretch, that thigh stretch you do. And I was like jumping in a circle while I had my horns up, and it looked pretty retarded. I'm convinced that was probably one of the more regrettable things I've done at a concert. But
wow.
That was my first concert experience.
Doing the frickin' flamingo while hopping around in a mosh pit.
Yeah, man. Not in a mosh pit. I made sure to stay clear of that mess after getting destroyed.
That can be scary when you're a kid. It's like, what's going on?
You're just like, hey, look at this crowd of people. I want to get up in this, and they're just like, what's this open? Oh my god, why? Fred, stop. Whoa,
noises.
I'm not entirely sure what that was.
That was unprofessional. That's what that was.
Oh, yep. Stop the podcast right now.
Gotta restart. Oh, God.
This tessellation depicts a group of rockers in what is known as a mosh pit.
A mosh pit. Oh, I have another mosh pit story to tell. Actually, this was a little later in my concert going career. So I was about 12 or 13, so 7th or 8th grade, which was Papa Roach and Five Finger Death Punch at the arena. Oof. And I was there, and I was having a good time, and I didn't really know if I wanted to mosh, because, I had made it through the other 3 or some odd bands, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. Five Finger's one of my favorite bands. They always have been. That's pretty cool. Maybe I want to mosh a little bit. Well, it turns out that I didn't really have a choice, because my father, the loving and caring parent that he was, just pretty much just shoved me into the mosh pit. And so, I how all 13 and 14-year-olds are. They just kind of think they can take on the world because they're becoming a teenager. That was basically me, and I think I thought I was doing a lot better than I actually was. But by the end of about 1.5 songs, I was pretty much exhausted, like completely. I was like ready to keel over. So I was like, how the hell do I get out of mosh pit? Like there's no visible way out. So I do the only reasonable thing I can think to do, and that is climb on some guy's shoulders, and I end up crowd surfing out of the mosh pit like a true god.
Nice.
Wow.
That is the best way to exit.
That is.
Yeah, if you've never been crowd surfing, it's an event.
See, you guys are talking about all your giant concert stories. Fun fact, I've only been to one concert in my life. I know that's pretty sad. It's sad. That concert, it was Def Leppard and Poison and Tesla.
Yeah, I remember that.
I almost went to a Metallica concert last summer, but didn't work out.
Whoa.
That kind of sucks.
Damn, that would have topped like all my concert stories. Like a $300 ticket for nosebleeds.
Yeah. But yeah,
I've been to one
Def Leppard concert was pretty lame. What?
A Jethro Tull? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the fluter guy. The fluter. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
They're all pretty older than most people, and all the fans were also. It was pretty sit down. It was peaceful, and it was all right.
I feel like I'm just kind of the authority on concert things because William, our guitarist, actually only recently got into metal, and me and Joe would be the second most experienced concert goer. He's been to about as many concerts as I have. But we took him to his first concert. About I think it was in January. Yeah, recently. And it was a really enjoyable concert. Probably one of my favorite concerts that I've ever been to. It was Avatar, and we're just not going to mention the opening band. They were pretty awful. And also Hell's a Poppin', which is like a circus sideshow thing that really entertained me. But yeah.
Birds.
Yeah.
I have a lot of concert stories actually. Now that I think about it, we could make an entire podcast just me talking about my concert stories, the plethora that I have.
We could fill that plethora of piñatas.
Now, technically, if you want to count all the symphonies I've been to, that's a large number, but I don't think that counts.
Sophisticated.
That's
yes.
So, you just gotta like form a circle pit at them.
A circle pit, like
at the Fox.
Start moshing to classical music.
Yes, of course. Like, what else do you do at one of those concerts or symphonies? Just throw chairs out of the way, start up a pit.
Yeah.
Possibly
actually, down in the...
Get kicked out in the next 5 minutes. Like, yeah.
Start running around in a circle. Look like a crazy person.
I mean, running around in a circle in a mosh pit, regardless of if it's a proper place for a mosh pit like a concert, already kind of makes you look like an idiot. Because, I mean, I've been to metal concerts where people have just decided to... Of course, they're shirtless because, you know, the amount of clothes you have is about proportional to how sober you are. Being, if you're sober, you have a lot of clothes on. And if you're not, you have not very many clothes on. And of course, it's a metal concert. If you're old enough to drink, it's basically inevitable that you're going to drink. So there's always that one fella in the mosh pit that just strips off his shirt. That shirt is never seen again, by the way. If he takes that shirt off at a concert, it's gone into the abyss. It's just no longer present. Sure. Yeah, and he just starts jumping around in circles in the pit, trying to hype everyone up. And it works sometimes. Like, it could get a little thing going, but usually in the concert venues I go to, it's too small to start a proper circle pit. So he's just one guy shirtless running around a mosh pit.
And see, that's also why you don't wear hats or glasses, Joe.
Oh, yeah, Joe actually at this concert that we took William to for his first time, decided that he's just gonna keep his glasses on, no band or anything. He's just gonna keep his glasses on and get in the mosh pit. Literally within like the first 10 seconds, they were off and stomped on about 12 times.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much a master at the art of diving into mosh pits to recollect dropped items. I've done it with my friend Shad's hat, his coat. I've done it with Joe's glasses. I actually got to them before they were too broke, even though they were missing a side thing, whatever that's called.
Is that how they went and got broke?
Yeah, it's in a mosh pit.
Cool story, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
One of many.
It's not just like, oops, I accidentally dropped my glasses. No, it's like I was in a mosh pit at an epic concert and a bunch of people stepped on it.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like the kid who breaks his arm and tries to make it seem way cooler than it actually was.
Dude, I did this sick backflip and I landed it, but then I slipped and broke my arm.
Yeah, it's like
While
what
fighting a bear.
What actually happened? He fell backwards and landed on it wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, dude, I was on my skateboard and I was bombing this hella hill, dude. I was going like 400 miles per hour and I couldn't stop. And I ran right into a stop sign. Like, no one believes you.
And then there's always the neck injury that looks super bad, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what cool things were you doing?" I looked down.
Yeah.
There's that guy who has the little scratch on his arm is like, I got in a fight with a bear, dude.
Yeah, that's what I named my cat, Bear.
Yeah.
When you accidentally staple your hand, you're like, yeah, the snake was like this big, man. Its fangs were so massive.
That kind of reminds me of the kid that tells the same joke over and over again, and no one has ever laughed at this joke, but he's just gonna keep telling it until someone laughs. You're just like, why? Like this, because he's so proud that he made this joke. This is his very own joke, and he's determined to make people laugh too. And he tells it like 10 different ways, but it's the same joke, and it's just not funny.
Oof. Yeah, and then there's always that kid who's like, you're talking to him, and he knows about everything that you're talking about, everything that you will ever talk about, and you're talking to him about guns, and he's like, yeah, my 5-gauge revolver, and I was shooting that.
That's kind of like the same kid that feels like they have to one up you on every single thing. It's like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, dude, I freaking hate this class. I get so much homework. I want to die. Yeah, well, I have 2 of the same class and I have more homework, so I want to die more. Okay. Or you'll be like, yeah, I barely got any sleep. I was up until 2, and they'll just cruise in on their heelys and be like, I didn't sleep until 4. You're like, why?
Or someone who's like, someone's like, I got a sore throat, and another guy comes in and is like, I have cancer.
Also, the people.
WebMD said I had cancer.
Well, yeah. The sleep thing, though, like everybody in high school is just like, yeah, I got literally 1.5 hours of sleep. No, I'm pretty sure you actually slept more than that, because you tell me the same thing every day. You got 1.5 hours of sleep. Your heart would not be working.
Yeah, no, that's something that forms very early from like elementary. Kids just like to brag about how little sleep they got.
Yeah,
like
I'm a big boy.
If I were them, dude, I'd be bragging about the amount of sleep I did get. I'd be like, bro, I went to sleep at like 8 and only woke up in the middle of the night once for like 5 minutes. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Sleep.
Woohoo, yeah.
Literally during the silences where no one is talking, I just desperately try and reply to all the Discord servers where people are like, where are you? And I'm like,
Yeah. I had a story. I can't remember the story now.
wow.
Boy.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm the biggest storyteller. I don't know why. But I got another quick story. It's about the podcast.
Okay.
I was
Oh boy.
I had one mic already out that I used for my PS4, and I was like, hey, this will work. It's a good quality mic. I'll just slap it into my computer and use it for the podcast. And then lo and behold, we're doing sound checks and stuff, and I can't get any audio to happen at all, and I was getting frustrated. So I had to resort to plan B. I was like, there's a headset in my closet. I think I could go get into my closet and pull that one out. Uh-oh. Dogs be barking. Someone's breaking into my house.
Uh-oh.
Yikers. But anyways, I go,
Revolver.
all right, hold up. I'll continue this story in a moment. I gotta see if I'm actually going to die.
So yeah, pretty much we were at school one day, and it was kind of around the morning time, and was it around the morning?
Well, that's the whole story. We were at school and it was around the morning. We're done.
Yep.
Cut.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it was around the morning. It was around the morning, and the school had received a anonymous or barely anonymous threat.
Yeah, and it was
Yes.
like, this kid's gonna come, and he's like, oh no, I'm gonna come and shoot up the school. And we were like, oh
Why?
noes.
Yeah, the whole school wasn't really in a panic, but everyone was pretty paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, or there was 2 types of people that day. There was the people who were super paranoid about everything, and then there was people who should have cared a lot more about the situation.
Just making jokes about it and stuff.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it made me mad.
But yeah,
It was-
basically,
Insulting about it.
it was the morning, and then the principal came on the intercom thing. It was like, so we received.
You're all gonna die.
Yeah.
We're like,
We
okay.
received a threat from an unknown entity. That's what he said.
An entity. Yeah, he was like an unknown entity, and that was kind of funny because the whole first period I was like, guys, it's just an entity. It's not. It doesn't even have to be a person. It could be like a fish.
Which,
It's like, oh god, aliens.
yeah, which drove me to believe that our school has been taken over by aliens. And yep.
Yeah.
I came up with a whole theory about that.
So we come to lunch and we're like sitting in the lunchroom, which is a very target-rich area. We're just like,
Because
yeah,
it's a
we're
goddamn
sitting here.
lunchroom.
Yeah, middle of the day, lunchtime. Get everybody corralled in this one area. This is most likely place where stuff's gonna happen, and most likely time, most likely grammar. But yeah, and then we ate our food items and decided to go up to the library because there was an exit.
Yeah, we were all getting like super paranoid because it wasn't like a full scale lockdown. It was just like nobody leaves the building and nobody comes in. So we're like, okay, that's a little sketchy. And we were all getting really paranoid. So we were sitting in the lunchroom, and every time the door would open, we'd all glance back at it like, oh shit, he's here.
It's like instant adrenaline shot.
And so instead, we just went up to the library, which had an exit outside that we could bail out of.
And we're standing around the library. I don't know if we should reveal
Reveal our what?
Our exit strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't let anyone in on this top secret plan we got.
Ooh, yeah.
Basically, the extent of the plan was, oh no, gunshots, go outdoor.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty
then
much.
we'll meet over by this one area and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Fourth
a pretty spooky
period.
time.
Because if
So-
someone comes in the school with a gun, I don't want to be trapped in a classroom.
Yeah, that's like the last place I really want to be. My only problem with like leaving the premises is because like the cops or somebody are gonna be like, oh man, it'd be the shooter, and I'm gonna get gunned down or something. Like,
Yeah.
No, they need to identify the target. Do that.
Yeah.
As long as you're
Yeah.
not holding a rifle. I mean,
yeah, no, I'd be out of there.
Mhm.
just, display your hands up in the air. Don't.
Suspiciously reach into back pocket.
Fourth period that day, I had PE, and I was walking the locker room, and our locker room kind of has a serpentine thing. So you walk around this one corner, and then you walk around another corner, and then you get in the locker room. But I was walking around the first corner, and there's a guy just standing there super sketchily looking at something in his hand, and he's holding it kind of like a handgun. It's a lock for his locker, and he clicks it in as soon as I turn the corner. It sounds like a slide going forward on a handgun. I'm like, oh, so I'm gonna have to kick this guy in the back of the knees.
Oh, that's sketchy.
I almost took him down, then I was like, oh, it's just a lock. Okay. I don't have to get this guy.
And then he locks his duffel bag with all his guns in it.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, anyways, the guy who threatened the school, the police actually found him, and he was detained and
The
arrested.
weird thing is he didn't even do it like relatively anonymous. I think he just did it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And it was really dumb because they go and detain him, but it's not even for threatening the school. It was for something else. God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any of you remember what it was for?
Well, apparently, how this all started was because of all the fighting going on. So let's talk about that whole stupid incident.
Yeah, there was a lot of fighting going on. It was I feel like it was sort of something like the Hatfields and McCoys, where it was like a family feud going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the kids that I knew, like personally, like better than the other kids, had Well, I think it started with this one chick and another chick getting in a fight, and this one chick absolutely destroyed the other one, and that
Like,
made that other chick's family, like brothers and stuff, upsetty spaghetti, and
Yep.
so that chick's like brother or boyfriend or something to that extent, for some reason didn't go after the chick, went after the chick's cousins who were like brothers,
relatively chill
and
people.
just basically went after them, and a huge fight broke out in the not a huge fight, just a fight between, those three people. But it happened in a lunchroom, and now there was a lot of uneasiness among both parties. And our school is incredibly incompetent, so they were probably just going to let those fights keep going on. Like, oh, don't worry, don't worry, they'll burn themselves out eventually when they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
But
10 fights in 1 week, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's the number we actually got
But
up to.
the whole fighting thing sparked the brilliant idea for a fight club in the school.
Are you serious?
You didn't know about that?
Remember that?
I've heard nothing about this.
Okay,
Remember that Reich kid that I was telling you about earlier with the blonde hair?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say his first name, but yeah, he founded that club.
Yep, it was a whole
my
fight club.
God.
Apparently, they made a Facebook page for it, which is stupid. Why would you do that?
Why? It's like they have no like internet security. It's like, oh, don't worry, it's not like they can down by our address. That would just be silly if they did that. You can't do that stuff on Facebook.
Well,
Like-
they can, and they did, and it worked out for us, all right. Because then they got caught and they got suspended for a lot of weeks.
Yeah.
That's it. What is with kids and just feeling the urge to like spar with each other? Like, why? I don't understand. It happened in middle school too. There was a whole bunch of kids that just, I don't know, they needed to like fight each other, but recreationally. And I'm like, but why? And they're like, oh, it's fun, and you can, practice self-defense. I'm like, what are you talking about?
But just don't do it at school.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
seriously.
There are people, you hear conversations and they're like, hey man, you want to meet up after school and fight? Yeah, okay, I haven't fought you before. Those will be fun. What are you
Just
even
casual.
saying? But that crowd of people is pretty sketchy.
yeah.
Stupid.
Uh,
Oh yeah, back to the
I think
what
we
were talking
basically
about?
covered everything. Situation at our school,
Yeah.
that whole deal.
To sum up, fights come, family feud sparks, some guy threatens to shoot up the school, we all be scared. I almost
Yeah.
jumped some poor kid in the locker room, and
Jump some poor kid, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, during the lockdown thing, like everybody was leaving. The school was like empty.
Yeah, no one like stuck around. They're just like, nope, gone.
algebra class, there some kid or gets picked up, teacher walks over to their desk, picks up the phone. Yeah, you're getting picked up. As soon as she walks up to the whiteboard to start doing things again, her phone rings again, another kid goes, and that cycle keeps repeating.
Yeah. And like during lunch, the intercoms were going crazy, just like so and so come down to the office and just like,
Yeah,
wow.
because like word got out and it's all over the school site. Parents are getting like text, and so I imagine if you're a parent, you're just gonna be like Tokyo drifting down to the school, like picking my kid up. I ain't about to be on the news
Yeah,
talking about how I
that's
miss my kid.
what they're worried about. That's what they're worried about, being on the news, not about their child's safety.
No, like I meant like, how they always interview the parents of the kids who
Yeah.
died. They're just like,
Okay.
I don't want to be in that position. I'm taking my kid home. My dad literally like texted me and he's like, what's the situation? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just a lockdown thing. And I was like, thanks, Dad.
Yeah, same. And it's
My dad's like, hey, do you need me to come pick you up? And I'm like, it's probably fine.
Probably fine.
probably.
Except
I'll
our school is not super sketchy, but not like Compton sketchy. It's just kind of like it's out there, and so a lot of underground things can happen just because it's not it's pretty rural and it's local.
Yeah.
So, and we also live a little bit in the country, so it's like a kid would pull a gun and kids would like in the middle of like a passing period and like 6 other kids would like just pull out fucking rifles from their lockers and they're like, word up, kid. Like,
Yeah.
and then there's just us and we're just like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Because-
and we just jump out the window and start walking over to the local restaurant.
Yeah, because we kind of live in a place where kids do have access to guns, like, in their house and stuff.
Yeah, it's not uncommon, which is scary, but you just kind of have to work on an honor system and know that's, you know, hopefully no one's going to snap.
Yeah.
Just to be perfectly 100% clear, we're not talking about how this is all the gun's fault and how we want to ban guns.
Yeah, my opinion on that is just it's always the person's fault, not the fact that they had guns. Like,
okay, yeah, it's the person's fault for being, you know, messed up in the head, I guess, and it's also the parents' fault for having a gun near a child, you know.
For not noticing what's actually going on.
yeah, like their mental state, because you have to be really, really messed up, like physically, to want to shoot up a school, because it's like you have to be beat up mentally, and a good parent should notice that and be like, oh, something's up with, you know, my kid, maybe I should talk to him, instead of being like, let me just open up this gun cabinet, make sure they know exactly where all the ammunition is, as well as you know, just anything else they may need to ruin several people's lives.
Exactly.
And end them. And it's pretty ridiculous that people were like, yeah, this could all be solved if we just took away guns completely.
I mean, I don't mean to spark controversy, and I don't mean to be that guy, but I firmly believe that banning guns is kind of pointless, because this is America. Bad people are going to get guns through another mean. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You can't
banning guns is not going to just completely make them stop existing.
It's going to take them away from the good people, and it's gonna just not gonna affect the bad people at all.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
But there are decent counter arguments to that, and you can see why they would want to ban it, because several situations could be solved if the kids just didn't have access to guns in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they wouldn't feel so compelled to do so, but still. It's like, if you just take it from, like, you go back a long time, and you're medieval era, it's like, man, we got a whole bunch of, you know, family stuff going on, and little Jimmy brought a sword to school. We should ban swords forever. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Sorry about this touchy subject, everyone, but
Yeah. Trigger warning. No pun intended.
okay, that's sorry.
Here's the thing, though. They're like, it's just one simple solution, but nothing in this universe is fixed with one simple solution.
Yeah.
This is true.
And you know what? Sometimes these things can be prevented by people at the school. Like, I've heard stories about counselors at school who have been told that kids have been threatening and having problems and stuff, and they do nothing about it.
They're just like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Oh my gosh.
It's their job to tell somebody about that.
Tell parents, at least, and higher-ups.
Yeah.
Do
And kids,
everything they
too.
can in their power. Yeah. And the people who just pass the buck and be like, when they do bring it up to their superiors, and then their superiors just be like, yeah, okay, we'll just tell our superiors, and then it just keeps getting passed.
And it just nothing ever happens. It's like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because no one knows how to take action. They just, oh, maybe this person will know, and they go to that person, and they're like, oh, maybe this person will know. It just keeps getting passed along. You're like, and it probably feels awful to be the student that knows that was going to happen and tried to do something about it, and nothing got done. And the event did happen. Like, I can't imagine. That'd be like, nobody ever listens to me.
Yep. Like, there are always signs, like with the recent Florida shooting. The kid who shot up the school was making like sketchy comments on YouTube and stuff, saying like I'm gonna be a professional school shooter, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean,
that's things like that happen in a lot of the cases there.
And actually, that kid was being watched by the FBI because he had been reported, but they still didn't do anything about it. So,
well,
Well,
it's not really the federal investigation's job to
yeah,
figure that out. They probably alerted the police department, but I mean, that stuff, no matter how paranoid you are, no one can predict the day that something like that happens.
Yeah.
well,
Unless they're literally like, I'm going to shoot up the school today on social media and calls the principal.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do it around lunchtime today. Be expecting me.
Yeah, Snapchat, just freaking squirt gun. Don't come to school tomorrow.
Don't come to school today, fam. Remember that? That was a thing.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stupids.
Yeah.
This got dark really fast. What a great way to just kick off our first podcast.
Great.
Oh boy, pilot episodes. Also, English teacher comes over. We're actually not doing work, and the moment we decide to start doing something productive, she comes over and talks to us about this for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
rest
like
of the class period.
that was a serious pet peeve. I was like, all right, we're not getting anything done, guys. We should really focus. And so we finally focus up. We're ready to get work done. And just the English teacher comes to our group and starts having casual conversation about, school shootery stuff. We're like, and we can't be like, go away, teacher. No one likes you. Like, no, we have to sit through this conversation and not get anything done.
It was a good conversation. It was a helpful conversation, but it wasn't very productive. That's the thing.
Yeah, could have just.
And my English teacher was even worse about this. He spent literally the whole class period ranting about this, which is cool. He does this like every day, by the way. He makes rants and lectures and everything that take like an hour.
Is your English teacher the same teacher as the drama teacher?
No.
Okay.
It's the new guy.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, it's cool because he feels more like a real teacher than anybody else because he shares his opinions, but it's like, we have work to do. Just do it.
Bruh.
What was that?
Yeah, hold up. Ben, you okay, bud?
Oops.
What? What? Oops.
I accidentally deafened myself.
Yeah, you deafened us too, because like
really?
You blew up our eardrums, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You like blew directly into the mic and almost. And then you just come back on, and your only explanation is "oops."
Oops.
I had no idea what the heck was going on. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was. Anyways, back to whatever we were on.
Oh yeah. A couple days ago, we had a short class period. It was like a half an hour, right? So, my English teacher, was just like, "Hey, we don't have to do work today. Let's just talk about something." So we started a conversation about the movie It.
Oh, dude, I recently watched that movie.
It's a good movie.
Like, really? Yeah, it's a good movie.
But it's like everyone, we were having a argument about whether it was a horror movie or not. And
That's not an argument. That is.
I know, but
Yes.
There was the one side that was like, "Oh, it's not a horror movie. It's more funny than scary."
No.
And then there were the
it's
other people
not.
who were like, "It's a horror movie, okay?"
That's ridiculous. No, I mean,
Yeah.
there are some funny moments, like comic relief, but there's no way it's not a horror movie.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
How can you watch that movie and be like, this isn't meant to be a horror movie? No way. No, because I recently watched that movie like about probably the same time you guys had the conversation, like a week ago. And it made me feel, uneasy and spooked like a horror movie should, because it's a horror movie. And to claim that it's like, nope, not a horror movie. Nope. Why? Just, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep were lost due
to the movie? Bet he died again.
He died.
What?
What?
Are you okay?
Who?
You.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What was your question? You asked a question, but you like disappeared.
Oh. How many hours of sleep did you lose to this It movie?
None, because
0.
I'm a rational person that doesn't let things like that get to him anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did what a horror movie does. It makes you feel uneasy. You're like, hey, that's pretty spooky.
And see, it wasn't a movie filled with cheap jump scares. It was, it was actually good horror.
Well, yeah, that's because the movie and the adapted interesting, basis, so they had the grounds to not just make it like, ooh, spooky jump scare.
Mm-hmm.
But the jump scares that were in it were either really, really good or really, really predictable.
Yeah.
Which made it pretty good. I enjoyed the movie. It's good movie.
Good movie. You want to end this on a happy note
today?
To end this on a happy note?
What kind of happy topics do we have to talk about? Because we've been recording for about an hour.
All right. Happy topic. Well, I suppose we should probably keep the few people that watch this as of now up to date on what we're doing with the band.
Right.
That's a happy note. So most recently, we've been developing part of a set list and really ironing out some of the kinks in our songs.
Yep.
Our set list now contains about, I'd say, 1.5 original songs and 2 cover songs that may or may not make the final cut. And we're performing live, not album. Our album, when we do eventually produce it, is a long ways out, probably estimated about more than a year before we actually get that all recorded. But as for live shows, that could happen probably before or probably during this summer.
Yep,
because we are actually making a lot of progress.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans.
I just wanted to point out that in this entire hour we've talked about a bunch of stories, a pretty controversial topic, and we did a movie review.
Yeah.
A movie review. All right, now I feel like something. This is just a rough idea. It may just be this one episode only, or just every episode. But I feel like we should all recommend a band of sorts to listen to at the end of every podcast.
I think we're gonna run out of bands pretty quickly if we all do it.
Not necessarily. There's only 3 of us, and there's about 1 million bands. Maybe just a song then. One song.
Okay. Or like one band per podcast. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we all just recommend the same one?
Yeah. I feel like we all know where we're at this. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So clearly the recommendation is obviously Nickelback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
No.
No. I will not have Nickelback ruin this way. But yeah, I suppose I'll lead us off. I'll just give my opinion. Y'all people that watch this channel should also listen to a band called Avatar. They're pretty lit. Make sure you don't get the Blue People movie or the anime. Make sure you get Avatar, the band. They're a good band. They're a Swedish metal band, and they got some groovy music.
Very nice.
Check it out.
Pretty
My
groovy.
personal favorite. Oof. Cut me off there, why don't you? God, rude. Anyways, Oh my God. Are you done? Okay. So, I recommend When the Snow Lies Red. That's a good song. Okay, I'm done. You can talk now.
All right. Wait, I recommend Tower. I just listened to this song the other day. They introduced it to me, but it's really, really nice. I like it.
And
Yeah.
how about
I'm gonna
you?
I'm gonna go with Night Never Ending if you're into a pretty inspirational song. You want to get inspired. It's a good one.
And there you have it. This has been the first episode of the ISO podcast, as brought to you by the Bird Band official Bird Band. Bird official band. There you go.
And Bird Official. Okay, thank you, everybody, for watching. And we will see you in the next episode, I suppose. Yeah?
Hopefully with more band members in it this time.
Yes.
Next time.
At least one. Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.
This is, yeah. See ya.